Welcome to Late Lunch Podcast, Season 2. I'm Ben Lee. I'm joined today by my two friends. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
I'm Alex.
I'm Dave. I was in Season 1.
Yeah, well, you guys were both in Season 1.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on Fraser. He's on his way, but I'm sure he'll come sometime. He'll be here. Anyway, so this week I wanted to kind of go over. It's been a while since we've done the podcast. I wanted to go over things that have happened since then. It's actually been 1 year, 5 months, and 5 days since the last podcast.
How many?
A year, 5 months, and 5 days.
Really, that long?
Yeah, so it's been over like 500 days.
I thought it was like 8 months or 6 months or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I looked it up, and it was last one was on August 27th, 2014.
What was that one about? Do you remember?
Nothing. I looked it up.
It wasn't about anything.
It was with Sam, Alex, and I, and we talked about
Probably
something to do with werewolves.
Sorry to put you
No,
on the spot.
it was about.
That's
Never
okay.
mind.
I should have. Yeah.
Wolf dogs.
Yeah, wolf dogs. That was the one. I think the way I described it in the right at the beginning is wolf dogs, unfortunately, and that's how I started the podcast. I'm like, this is what we talked about. Anyway, so a lot of stuff's happened in the last year. One thing I was really worried about actually going when we were still recording season 1 was Ebola, and that's pretty much the WHO apparently declared kind of that whole crisis over for now. The epidemic is over as of May 2015.
Mm-hmm. Until this summer.
Yeah, this summer. Let's see, world news. I've got
Part two?
not that much happened though. I mean, this year, 2015.
Plenty happened.
I mean, like according to my notes, 4 things happened.
All right. What were those 4 things?
We have a new prime minister, Justin Trudeau,
Yeah.
and Stephen Harper's no longer prime minister. He almost made it to 10 years. It was 9 years and 271 days.
Were those 2 points, or were those like just the same?
That's
point?
the same
Okay.
point. That's like a fact on the point. The U.S. Supreme Court affirms same-sex marriage in the United States, which is it's pretty big. But that was close. That was 5-4 in favor.
Oh, yeah.
That's really close. WHO, Ebola. That was a big deal. That was a big deal for me because I was getting scared and I was talking about going to Madagascar. I think.
Well, if you ever played Pandemic,
Yeah,
right?
that's the whole thing. That's the whole theory because they've got like the least number of like ways to get onto the island. I would figure by the time,
Mind you, like a bunch of like hapless like animals found their way onto the island, along with the penguins went to Antarctica.
That's a movie. But yeah. Anyway, and the Paris attacks happened. 2 Paris attacks. There was a Charlie Hebdo, and then the more recent one at the Eagles of Death Metal concert, and a couple different places in Paris, and those were big. Any other big things you can remember happened?
Well, yeah, you rolled really dark on that. I mean, aside from Justin Trudeau and same-sex marriage, for diseases and terrorism.
I mean, that's half, to be fair.
True. 50-50.
This is
Star Wars came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's kind of a big
stuff.
I mean, that was actually really, really recent. I guess since it was like around Christmas or whatever. So I guess really on that tail end. Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing for me were all stuff like that.
Like media stuff. I've got a whole list of media stuff. If you want it.
Yeah, sure.
And we can kind of go through and talk about those. Okay, so movies I got a list of 2014. Birdman came out in 2014. See that?
Yes.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
Kind of didn't get the ending really. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I thought it was amazing. Those long tracking shots. Nightcrawler. Do you guys see Nightcrawler?
No.
Which one's that? Oh yeah, that's
on
the
Netflix.
Jake Gyllenhaal one.
I don't know the actor.
Yeah,
but
that was good.
It was about like L.A. and like ambulance chasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like posing like dead bodies to like.
Well, he did such a good job of being creepy. That Jake Gyllenhaal. I always thought of him as like kind of like a pretty boy. Like I don't know, it was like just throw some Jake Gyllenhaal in there and you'll get a certain audience. But man, he rolled pretty.
Yeah, he
creepy
was really
in there.
creepy.
That was good. He plays a good creeper.
Yeah, I hated him, and at the same time, I wanted him to succeed. So that was.
Yeah, that was a good way of describing it.
Yeah, Hunger Games: The Mockingjay came out. I think that was part 1.
I don't know what. I didn't see any of that.
I saw it. It was
actually I've totally lost track. I think I've seen 3 of them, and I've totally lost track of which one is which.
It's because there's 4 now. Because there's the 3 books, and then they split. They did that thing where you split the 4th book. Third book into 4
with Harry Potter,
parts. Yeah,
And I guess The Hobbit came out too. If we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was the
that's
three parts for The Hobbit.
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't even
part
realize
3.
that.
Yeah, that was the one that was mostly about that big battle. That was like 80% of it. It's the big battle. The interview came out. Did you guys watch the interview? I watched the first like 10 minutes, but I couldn't
I don't know what it is.
The interview? It was the one that caused a big controversy with North Korea.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the one that
Seth
that-
Rogen.
yeah,
and-
Seth Rogen
wasn't
and
gonna come out in theaters or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I did not like it. I tried to watch it. I think there was like a rape scene with a tiger, and at that point I fell asleep. And when a movie is showcasing,
we know what Dave needs to be put to sleep.
yeah,
Nothing like
bestiality, and then I'm
Sleeping like a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was not good. I mean, it was interesting though. The big stink everybody made, and then when a week later when everybody saw it, it was kind of like just completely fizzled.
Yeah, there was because it was Sony releasing it, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a big Sony hack around that time, and people were saying it had something to do with the movie, and they they released some like emails of people in corporate America being racist.
And then we got Spider-Man because of that. Oh,
Nope.
Maybe turn that down.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I know, right?
we got Spider-Man. People are saying that's the reason why we got Spider-Man in Civil War. It was because of the Sony hacks.
Oh, really?
They're sending emails between Sony and between Disney and Marvel, and news came out about Sony just being really, really like mean and aggressive about it.
So they
Or
gave
something about that.
so they gave us Spider-Man in the new Avengers for.
No, it's Civil War.
So sorry,
Captain
yeah,
America.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are kind of blending together for me, which is like good. I mean, they're kind of expanding that universe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a whole other thing. What is it? We'll get to event like Marvel and stuff like that in a minute. But Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel, right? That came out 2014. That came out actually right in the beginning of the month of the last podcast. So last podcast was August 27th. Guardians came out August 1st. I'm not sure if we talked about it. I guess we must have. I liked it.
It was good.
I thought it was great. I've listened to that playlist so many times. The
yeah,
awesome
cool
mixtape,
soundtrack, yeah.
number 1.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, and then moving on to 2015. These aren't in like a particular order. They're like according to like a rating system. Some website I just kind of pulled it from. Ant-Man. Anyone seen Ant-Man? Ant-Man?
No, I didn't see it.
No, me neither. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I saw was pretty good. It was like James Bondy. It was a lot of the stuff. It was like cool and stylized, but like also pretty campy. Let's see. Maze Runner, Scorch Trials. I figure.
I did see that.
Oh,
I
really?
did see that. Oh, you got a doorbell.
Sorry, one second. I think that's Fraser. Hold on. Just keep rolling.
Yeah, no, I could talk about that movie.
Right on in.
But yeah, what was that?
like halfway here, so
We started. Yeah, but
Just take a seat. So we were still.
yeah, you were going through the movie.
Yeah, we're
Said
still.
Maze Runner.
Yeah, Maze Runner, Scorch Trials. I saw the first one.
Yeah,
I thought it was alright.
I saw the first one. I saw the second one, and it didn't feel anything like the first one. And
No?
I was okay with the first one, but the second one I kind of lost me. It was, a lot of gallivanting around a desert, looking for something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I remember because there's a
There
big.
was, I don't think there was a maze in that one, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, it's only in the first one.
No, they get out of a maze and then they walk around a desert.
But they'll stick with the
Yeah.
the title for the next 2 or 3 movies.
It was pretty. It was pretty. I'll give it that.
That's good. Yeah, I thought the first one was alright.
Mm-hmm.
It had the feeling of like Lord of the Flies, kind of just a bunch of kids running around just trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a break from the list for a second. Just say hi to Fraser.
hi everybody.
Just talk right into that mic, just a little bit closer.
I will try to lean in here. I'm kind of falling into the couch.
Oh,
but
This is a very.
Sorry.
There's 4 of us on the couch, and I gotta say, you can't really sink into it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
But no, you can't. I mean, don't apologize to the couch. It's not like you purposely bought a sagging couch.
Yeah.
Did you buy a
Yeah, I
second?
bought this
Oh,
for
you
this
got it?
reason.
Yeah.
This is where all the budget went.
Well, it's much more intimate this way, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so you said hello. We can move on. Have you seen?
Ben is staying very tight with this list that he has going.
I don't know. Yeah.
Keep
I
the
don't know how to
schedule.
introduce people.
You said words into a microphone. All right, that's over. Next,
Well, what were you? So,
I'll just say I'm very honored to be here. It seems like a very tight knit group that I'm kind of like crashing. So We're gonna see how this works and try to integrate myself in this as best as I can.
Yeah.
But
I appreciate you coming out. Because, like, yeah, no, it's just kind of fun to have everyone out.
Yeah.
And drink beer.
Well, it's been a while.
And, yeah, it's been a year, 5 months, and 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we're going through this list of movies that have happened since halfway through 2014.
so we'll be here for about 3.5 hours.
No, it's just the highlights that I think people have maybe seen. So Inside Out. Anyone seen Inside Out?
No.
Yeah, it was good.
Picture. Yeah, I just watched it like 2 days ago. It was really good.
The feels.
Yeah, Amy Schumer was it as
Yep.
as
No, not Amy Schumer. No, entirely wrong. Amy Poehler,
Amy, sorry, I mix up all my
the
celebrity names.
likable comedian. You know.
Actually, no, that's what I meant. I don't know who Amy Schumer is. Who's Amy Schumer?
You don't want me to get into it.
All
She was in Trainwreck. So she was in a movie called
In
Trainwreck.
more ways than one.
Okay. Yeah, I know Amy Poehler's in Parks and Rec. It's a great show. It's like, yeah, so much good talent in that one. But yeah, it was really good. Really heartfelt and stuff like that. Which I didn't expect it to be. I thought it was just gonna be because like actually I don't want to spoil that one. That's like these are all movies from like 2015, 2014. It's the one I don't want to spoil.
I'll just say that, as usual, that company walks the line so well between, the kid-friendly jokes, the necessity of making it a kid-friendly environment, and then the deeper layer that really speaks to adults. And I think a lot of adult critics came away from that movie with some very deep feels and were devastated by it, and kids saw none of that. And that really is the magic trick, right? When that works, that's precisely what they want.
Yeah.
You kind of hit all audiences, right?
Yeah.
Precisely.
That's super important. I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. And I find you have to do it with like any sort of kids TV shows now. Yeah. Oh, I just heard that Facebook sound. Anyway, let's move on. I've got nothing more to say about Inside Out. Age of Ultron, Avengers: Age of Ultron. That's one that everyone's got to have seen.
Yeah,
right?
so
Everyone?
it was.
Yes,
Yeah, it was definitely a
Couple
movie.
times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was because I was really impressed by the first one. I was really happy about how the first one connected all those characters, and that was like the first time kind of Marvel had done that with the live action series, right? Gotten so many. That's Caesar the dog. Gotten so many characters
Chev's
together. He's not he barks at me every time I come home. I've lived with him for about 9 months. Anyway, so Age of Ultron. What do you guys think?
Not much.
No?
Just, yeah, I watched it. It was a movie, and I watched it and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't one of those things I'd watch again. I watched the first Avengers, I think, 3 times, but the other one, I don't know what it was. It just didn't click for me, and not that it was bad. Just that for whatever reason, it didn't click in the same way that the first one did.
I felt like there was almost too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got completely lost at like Thor's. And we can spoil this because it's been out for a year almost.
Yeah, I think
It's out on Blu-ray now, so.
I think it's
Yeah.
a lot like Star Wars. At this point, if you haven't seen it, it's entirely your fault.
I'll put a spoiler tag on the MP3. Yeah, so
Sorry.
that's okay. Yeah, like I didn't get Thor's thing where he slips away. Right near about halfway through the movie. He's like, I gotta go do this thing, and he finds like that one like tertiary character from his film. Who's like, they're like, yeah, we gotta get this guy in, and he brings him to a cave, and then he goes in the water, and he just appears later and like zaps Ultron's new body, and makes him good. Zaps it with his hammer.
No, that's Jarvis, and he makes him Vision. He zaps
But it's the body. It's the
the body that he wants to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jarvis has control of it or whatever.
So what happened? What was
There
Thor
was
doing?
like 30 minutes of that movie apparently or 30 minutes that was cut out. Like Joss Whedon like filmed a much more stuff
Yeah.
in that cave. I still think it would have been bad, but at least it would have explained it more. And execs are like, well, the movie's already 2 hours. You can't make it almost 3.
Yeah, okay. That
And
makes
to be
sense.
fair, I probably wouldn't want to see a 3-hour Avengers movie.
The whole Ultron saga reminded me so much of the Hulk and Edward Norton and that whole issue that they had. What was that? 2008?
I didn't watch those ones. What
I
happened?
mean, Norton did basically a rewrite of the movie. He wanted so much more of an intro story. In fact, I think if I read correctly, the intro story would have run for about an hour of the movie. It would be very much like Batman Begins in that respect, right?
Oh yeah.
And he rewrote it, they were like tight to the production schedule, and then the studio said, "Wait, what is this? Like this is like too much of a movie. We need action. We need like Hulk jumping out of a helicopter," and the whole thing went off the rails. And you could see it the same way with Ultron and Joss Whedon.
Sorry, I was just laughing because Dave tore apart the what
We're just breaking things over here. Lint roller?
Lint roller, yeah, which I brought up because there's hair all over the couch.
There's like one pad left on that thing.
No, you strip it off and there's at least 4. But anyway, you're saying?
But you could just kind of see... It's one of those movies where you could see precisely why Joss Whedon is no longer going to be involved with Marvel. I was like, oh yeah, that is what he's dealing with. And if I had to deal with that ever, that laundry list of things you have to mash together, it would scare me away too.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, it's too bad. I like most stuff that Joss Whedon makes, but like, yeah, it was just kind of a messy story that ended up coming out. And from what I've heard, it's not his fault. But
it was his idea to put in Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and they were terrible. So
yeah, they were pretty bad. I like Quicksilver was good in the Wolverine movie.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even have to do that much. He just like ran around, looked cool.
Yeah.
And
well, it was something new visually.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Joss Whedon was trying to do by introducing them in Ultron. But way too many characters.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think that's what that means.
No, I meant like as far as like him having.
Sure, yeah,
like,
and the
like
producers,
the producers and
that's
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't yet fully understand like all the nuances of how that works out, but guess that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Still a very successful movie.
Yeah.
And it looked pretty cool. Looked super cool. Like that fight scene near the end where they're like all trying to protect the whatever the button was that like would make the island fall out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And the slow-mo right at the start, even like that first opening sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was good. That's some Joss Whedon-y jokes. I can't say it.
Yeah.
Whedon-esque jokes. Just all the kind of little throwaway lines, like when Tony Stark like breaks into a thing, shoots all the guys like in the leg, and he's like, "Oh, good talk." And then one of them's like, "No, it wasn't."
Time for some thrilling heroics.
What do you guys think of that running joke about the language when who was it? Tony Stark does a swear, and then Captain America's like language, and then they like tease him about it like through the rest of the film.
I don't really like that.
That's an ongoing joke?
Yeah, it ran through the film.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just that whole like Captain America is an old timer, in a young man's body, isn't this hilarious, right? Just keep tagging and tagging and tagging that.
Yeah.
I like
They
that.
got a little bit tired, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite Marvel ongoing joke now is taking people's arms off as an homage to Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
like
I
the
heard
first
about
Star
that.
Wars movie, it's something like 7 arms are taken off or something like that. So they have purposely had people's arms being chopped up in the Marvel movies just as like a dumb joke to Star Wars.
Yeah, that
Or
was
dumb homage.
that was the go-to lightsaber technique, right?
Yeah.
Sand people, Jawas, whatever. Just
Exactly. Everybody loses
Cut an
their
arm off.
hands. It's just that's just how it goes in Star Wars.
Yeah. Anyway, so next on the list, Steve Jobs. Anyone watch the Steve Jobs documentary?
Yeah, it was good.
Movie? Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was neat. It was done a little differently than I thought it was going to be done, because it wasn't so much, okay, here's the story of his life. It was just 3 conferences that take place across his lifetime. So one's with Apple, one's with another company he's working with, and then one again with Apple.
Right.
So each of them is about 30-45 minutes in length. And just kind of that real-time feel to each of them is really interesting. And from the looks of it, the majority of stuff that happened or what they showed in the film actually happened in real life. So it was interesting. It was very tightly written. Who was that? Was that Aaron Sorkin guy or whatever? So it's that quick kind of witty banter back and forth, and maybe not witty, just quick banter. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Didn't do well.
No.
Did it really badly.
Yeah. I mean, like I never watched it. I don't think most people did.
Yeah, it had a limited release, and then when it actually opened fully, I think it had lost steam.
Dave, question on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, my kind of critique of Sorkin, at least for the last number of years, and I'm thinking of the Newsroom in particular here, is that he kind of veers into the hero worship,
Yeah.
often the kind of stilted dialogue and the pretty one-sided characters. How did Steve Jobs measure up in that regard?
I would say, yeah, I think maybe a little more complex than just the one-sided character, but it was I don't know. It was there was definitely some of those like side characters that really there wasn't much growth in them. They just kind of existed. But I think that they focus. Yeah, that's a tough call. I think that's actually fitting with this. I think maybe.
Yeah, it's a common Sorkin problem.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen Newsroom, so I'm not the best at comparing it to that. But it was but yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's a little bit of that problem in this as well.
Next up's concussion. Concussion, anyone?
Was that the-
He hit him on the head. He had concussion. That's all I heard about it. So
Will Smith gunning for that Oscar.
Oh yeah.
One bad accent at a time.
Anyone see it though?
No.
Okay.
As a sports guy, I was kind of diametrically opposed to it, just on the basis of like the preachiness, and I mean, the themes have all been played out in sports media for at least 5, maybe 10 years. So to see a movie kind of try to draw all of those really thin threads together, I just immediately got as far away from it as I could.
Yeah.
also Will Smith, like he hasn't been in anything good in recent history. Which
he was in After Earth or whatever that was with his son Jaleb.
Jaleb Smith.
With Jacob.
I was trawling around on IMDb the other night, and this is a bad sign of what Will Smith's career has come to. But I think I was actually on Ed Norton's page because that whole Hulk conversation I just recently have been reading up on that, and I came across his page, and he had an upcoming project like 2017, 2018 pre-production. And I saw Will Smith attached to it, and I'm like, Ed, what are you doing? Like, do you have alimony that you owe someone? Get out.
yeah,
You're an artist, sir.
Yeah, he's in Suicide Squad too, so
Oh yeah.
that's gonna be a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's filming just up in Toronto,
Yes.
right next door,
Yeah.
basically. Have you see the newest trailer?
Yep.
What do you think? They
Nope.
edited it to Queen, so I mean that's popular.
Yeah. That's probably all it had going for it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. Yeah,
It got a lot of like positive reviews, and people seemed to like help people like it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, they edited it to Queen. This makes it the best thing ever. It looked all right. I might watch it when it's on Netflix. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna go out and pay movie price for it. Whatever it is nowadays, like $15 for 3D.
Yeah.
I think it's almost 20.
No, it's not.
No?
20,
Oh, okay.
20 for like VIP or
Oh
something.
yeah, or like the IMAX or whatever.
Yeah. D-Box is really cool. If you guys know what that is.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
Yeah.
I haven't had a really positive experience with it yet. I've only been to a few movies. Went to Fury Road in D-Box with my dad.
Wasn't that good?
It was okay. I didn't feel like it added a ton.
So D-Box is what?
The shaky seats as well as like a 3D. So it's sort of like it's not IMAX
No, it's
tech
not.
on the
screen?
visual end.
No.
No, it's just 3D,
Yeah.
and then the motorized seats.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So someone sits there, watches the movie, and programs all of the motions while watching the movie, which is kind of like a
That'd
really
be a
cool
neat
way to do
job.
it.
Yeah.
And programs 3 separate versions, like a really light one, and like a normal.
Oh
and then a
yeah,
heavy,
because
like
people would get like seasick or whatever. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So it's a cool
But
premise, at least.
Can you
I've
switch
never been
halfway
to.
through, or are you just like
Yeah.
you're locked in? It's like I'm going hard mode, and you're like, oh no.
You order it online in advance and choose your mode. There's a waiver you sign. No.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of Dr. Bean, if you've ever seen that movie. But he goes in, him and his buddy go up to their like theme park, and they go on one of those moving type roller coasters that doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
And he just changes the settings because he's an alien and he wants it really difficult.
Oh yeah.
And people are flying out of the seats, and he's just sitting there like a madman.
Oh, that's my childhood. That was Wonderland when they put in the. I guess it's the equivalent of D-Box at the time. They were kind of doing that sort of IMAX crossover, and it was Days of Thunder, the old Tom Cruise NASCAR movie
Oh yeah.
that they had in there. And as a kid, it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
I saw a Jurassic Park one. Well, it wasn't even Jurassic Park. It was like you just looking at dinosaurs and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
3D, and that was an
Yeah,
experience. That was somewhere in Quebec, like a theme park in Quebec.
Yeah. When I went to Walt Disney, there was one. It was a Lilo and Stitch one
Oh yeah.
where, and it had smells too, like mists.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, like Stitch devours this like bean burrito, and then you just get like this fart smell.
Oh, God.
It's hilarious. Oh yeah, and then he's like, and then he, with his tongue or whatever, and then like spits or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then like water on your face.
Man, yeah, like the technology behind like all these rides now is just like it's so impressive. Like I've never wanted to go to Disneyland more than I do right now, just to like go and see all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird because I never really cared about it when I was a kid or whatever, because there's like whatever. But now I do. Now I just want to go and experience the technology.
Experience the technology.
Hey
Trademark.
kids, you want to go experience the technology at Disneyland?
Ben's out here writing marketing copy on a podcast.
Yeah.
I just wish NASA had half this budget.
Yeah.
Curiosity rover has
The
like one
podcast
selfie
budget
stick
or
and
the Disneyland.
Yeah, that happened in 2015, right? NASA
What?
made some huge steps.
Oh yeah,
forward.
what did they do? I forget.
They found water on Mars.
Did they find water on Mars or find proof of water on Mars? Because they
I think they found like moisture or something,
okay.
right? Which water? I think so. I can't say for sure.
I don't know.
but-
I see Reddit posts all the time. It's like NASA finds proof of something like water on Jupiter.
yeah.
But yeah. I don't think they actually found water, but yeah, maybe it was like proof of moisture or something. But yeah, it's because they've been running they've been getting a lot of press recently.
Yeah.
What happened? It was because right around the movie The Martian, something happened. Did they launch something or did they land something?
I think they landed a rover, right?
yeah, Curiosity. Yeah, it's still down there, and the image quality is finally quite high. So, like, we're getting some fantastic images back. Of course, the images you're getting are usually like selfies of the robot in a dune somewhere. So it's not exactly
Yeah.
like a great thing to capture, but it's very remarkable.
The Martian, on the other hand, was not so remarkable as a
No?
movie.
Segues.
I listened to the audiobook and I thought it was pretty entertaining. Like they did a lot of math, which I didn't understand enough to kind of follow. But, it made me feel smart to listen to it.
Yeah, the movie kind of dumbed it down, which is fine. You need to do that for a movie, but it just became to me, like the first act was good and the second act was good, but the third act it was like it just kind of went through the motions towards the end, and it was kind of like, oh, now we're gonna go rescue him, and it's like and they had that cringy scene with Donald Glover explaining to like one of the higher ups at NASA how like a slingshot works, right?
Wait, Donald Glover was in this movie?
Yeah,
Huh.
Childish Gambino.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the I don't know, he's on some sort of spectrum. It was the character that he played, like, and he
Sorry, go on.
he was like this student worker kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Something like that. Who worked at I don't know if he worked at NASA, but he somehow ended up talking to the guy at NASA, and he's like, "What if instead of coming back home, they just did the slingshot, and then came back and picked him up, and then went home?"
Oh my God, you're a genius!
Yeah, but he like explained it, and it's like even the audience, like you didn't need like a 3-minute scene to explain that to the audience. There's a certain point where you need to think about how important exposition is and how much you can get away without doing. So.
Yeah, I find that the really interesting part of turning like a book into a screenplay is usually the kind of perspective change, because like in the audiobook it's all just like logs, right? It's like 100 it splits. It's like logs for the first half of the book, and then they start going to like NASA headquarters and like saying what's going on there. And you don't hear you don't see the perspective of people on the actual spaceship, like of his crew and stuff like that, until like 3/4 of the way through the book.
Yeah.
And it's like the same with what was it, the Mockingjay? What's the series name? Hunger Games, where it's like you got Katniss or whatever. And in the books, she's just kind of whiny, and like she's always thinking about like why doesn't what's his name love her, and like how annoying PETA is. and like like I thought it was really cool.
Young adult fiction, really reinforcing people's self-confidence.
How they can like change how a character seems, or like just by like not including things. Like they just didn't include any of that whininess. And since like you kind of just have to show things through action rather than like you can't, unless they do like the voiceover thing where it's like you hear everything she's thinking, which is making of a bad movie. It's like you're gonna make Scrubs again probably.
Hey, hands off Scrubs, pal.
No, it's good. I've been watching it on Netflix. I'm 100 seasons in. Just 20 to go. But yeah, so I might give it a watch at some point. But I thought the audiobook was pretty good.
Yeah, what they did with the movie was they did like GoPro like logs. Like he did video logs instead of writing stuff down, so he's still able to talk to the camera and kind of get stuff across. But yeah.
Must have taken I guess they had a lot of stuff to choose because like that's a lot. That'd be a lot of vlogging for them for a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a fair amount actually. Yeah, yeah, right. Because like there's no one for him to talk to up there. There's only so many things that he can kind of just like do through actions.
Yeah,
but yeah. So they did that part well. It's just the third act was very like going through the motions. Like we're gonna pick you up, we're gonna save you, and just turned into like a generic action movie at the end.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean that's kind of like how the end of the book played as well. It was just like. They end up, doing that action-y thing. They're like, let's. I think they pierced part of their own ship to do something to reverse thrust, and then.
Yeah, maybe I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the list. I'm just gonna cut out There's Goosebumps. Probably no one saw that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I thought about it. Ex Machina was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought it was really pretty, and it had some interesting kind of ideas about AI. I don't want to spoil it though. Black Mass, anyone see that with Johnny Depp?
I watched like half an hour and just nothing about it interested me.
Was it Johnny Depp though?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked cool in it. He sounded cool.
I saw the ad and it looked terrifying and great.
And the story, like learning about the actual dude, the Whitey Bulger or whatever, I thought that would be interesting, but it didn't hook me, and it was just. I think it's one of those ones I could go back and get into, but just the day that I tried to watch it, I couldn't get into it.
Okay. Straight Outta Compton. I've seen enough people ripping off their poster for a lifetime. It's like straight out of anything.
Yeah.
Like straight out of Late Lunch Podcast. Anyone see it though?
No, I never saw it. I mean, I'm a big fan of the subjects, but it just felt like a biopic I didn't really need to see. And I think it was one where actually the buzz surrounding it ended up turning me off. It was just like no one would shut up about it, so I was like, well, I think I've heard enough, and I know the real story. So unless the narrative has something like new and unique to tell me, I just don't need to see it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I kind of wanted to watch it. I just didn't. I thought that like how much music is in it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh wait, no one's seen it. Never mind. I'll watch it later.
Speaking of other, I guess like. Predominantly like black cast movies that were good. I saw Beasts of No Nation on Netflix recently, and it was so good. It was so good, and it's just because like I don't know if we want to talk about the whole like Oscar so white thing, that hashtag thing.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's run into it.
But like Beasts of No Nation was so good.
Sorry,
it was really good.
Beasts of No. Oh yeah, yeah. Because I heard that was one of the one of the ones that like no one got nominated from.
Well. The Oscars are a bunch of like old people, and like they don't respect Netflix, right? Because it didn't get a traditional like theatrical release. They didn't want to include it as an official movie, right? Just because it was straight to Netflix.
Okay,
right, straight out of Netflix instead of.
Well, I mean, it is basically undermining the industry that they built. So I can understand where it comes from a business perspective, that you don't want to give Netflix any more momentum than they're already giving themselves. But of course, they stepped right into it in a PR capacity.
Yeah.
This season, and then the SAG Awards just happened. I think yesterday, 2 days ago.
I think so.
And black actors were very well represented. Idris Elba got up and accepted 2 different awards at that award show, and then snubbed the Oscars. So yeah, it was a pretty fantastic statement from SAG.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's one of those things, though, with a lot of those awards, they're starting to matter. less and less, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they still get a bunch of money for the Oscars, but for me, just because a movie's Oscar nominated doesn't mean I'm gonna go watch it. And like, you know, things like The Martian won like Best Comedy or something at Golden Globes or something like that.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Like-
Yeah, they just wanted to enter it somehow, and yeah, that's crazy to me.
Which is yeah.
I mean, I guess you can do that, but like the first time you do that, you're like taking away from the value of like any of your awards.
Yeah.
Right. It's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't really follow the Oscars enough to have a comment on it.
Yeah.
But one sec, we're almost the end of our list here. Siguro, anyone watch that?
Loved it.
Meant to.
Meant to be really pretty.
Yeah,
You got-
Sicario was one of my favorite movies.
Said it wrong.
I let that play for a second, but
No, it's fine. You can just correct me.
no, Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorites working right now, and Sicario was great. It's so atmospheric for a police, what looks like just another cop movie. He really turns it into almost a horror movie, particularly by the end. There's a sequence, and I won't ruin it, but there's a long sequence of a couple really, really long shots, and it works through so well. And despite you look at that shot at face value and you think, oh, well, it's killing the pacing, but he just executes it so well, and Emily Blunt sells it with her acting so well that it goes through like just fantastically. I walked out of the theater blown away by that movie, and I'm so excited that Villeneuve is taking over Blade Runner. I think that reboot is going to be fantastic. Ryan Gosling notwithstanding.
Oh yeah. Last ones are Spectre, which I thought was okay. What do you have, Spectre?
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
I think Spectre was my second favorite of the Daniel Craig Bonds, and I have an unpopular opinion in that I didn't like Skyfall very much.
Oh yeah.
I really liked Casino Royale. Skyfall was okay. Quantum was terrible, and Spectre was good, not great. And Daniel Craig looked like he wants to do anything else with his life other than play James Bond ever again.
Oh yeah,
like
I've
so
been
much.
reading all these articles about like how Daniel Craig's like he's not into it anymore. He's talking about how James Bond's like a there's a word for it. He's a bad dude. Yeah. So, do you think he? Like, I heard someone was offering to be a villain, but only if Daniel Craig stayed as James Bond.
That's a weird request.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Kevin Spacey asking that request?
It was some big name actor. I forget now. I was hoping someone else would remember.
Getting into
but
some PA drama here.
never mind. Let's move on since I clearly don't know what who that was. Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, I enjoyed
So
that.
good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
fantastic.
yet, but I want to. So I should watch that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's up for Best Picture, isn't it? It's one of the 8 they had.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
It is one of the best edited movies. Like,
All right.
in like, first of all, that movie's been in production since or pre-production since George Miller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, was writing it in like in the 90s or early 2000s or
90s,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah. And like some of he posted some of the stuff that like some of his like shot lists and the storyboards that he was doing early on. But yeah, it's edited so precisely that there's actually a video that plays like 6 different movies that were all nominated for pictures, like 10 times faster on Vimeo. Someone put it together and just sped them up 10 times. And the only story that's still comprehensible sped up 10 times is Mad Max, and the rest of them just make no sense. But it's really cool to see, and like the way it was framed and the way it was like shot and everything's in the center of the frame because they're cutting so fast. And I remember they're saying something about the editing process. If you could, they wanted to do it so that like if you can't understand it, right, then like they'll just slow down the footage, and then if it was too long, then they'd like shorten it down. So it's like every cut was just like the right amount of time you needed to understand it. And they put everything in the middle of the frame so your eyes always knew where to look.
Oh yeah.
And it was, yeah, like technically, and then the story was so good as well. And you don't really, it's weird because there are a lot of movies that want to be like super deep. And I like those movies too. Like Interstellar was an example of,
Oh yeah.
just like, Christopher Nolan does stuff that tries to like mess with your mind. But Mad Max was just like, it was a really simple story, but it was so well done that like I didn't care.
That's really the remarkable thing with the movie is like it's so straightforward in everything it does that if you look at it on paper, you think, well, this is so simplistic. Like, where's really? There's almost no plot to it. It really is like a gigantic. There's 3 gigantic chase scenes that comprise basically the entire movie, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And if you look at that as a concept, you think, God, that's going to get so boring so quickly. And yet you come out of the theater and you're like sweating and you just want to go like run through a damn brick wall.
Yeah.
Because it's so well done in every respect. I mean, the amount of time they put into creating the vehicles and all the practical effects, right? It's just remarkable.
I still need to see it, but yeah, for it's like a masterpiece essentially. Is it really warm in here right now? I think we gotta turn out the thermostat again.
Yeah, it's because we're talking about Fury Road.
I'm okay.
You're wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, I actually got 2 layers on.
I'm wearing a hat.
When I first came on, when I first came in, I was sweating quite a bit, but I think that's because I was riding a bike up hills.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean the thermostat was 73 before. Apparently it's meant to be like 67.
Yeah, I'm just brown, so I'm very warm right now.
Just a quick revisit there. We're talking about Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but he's doing a World War II flick next.
Oh yeah.
He's doing a Dunkirk movie about the evacuation of the British Army in World War II. And I think, how is Christopher Nolan going to Nolan up World War II? I mean, I imagine there's going to be some sort of... He can't do like a straight up real movie, can he? Without any kind of like philosophical asides.
No, he'll figure out he'll figure out something. It might not be good, but it'll be.
He'll make a movie. Okay, last one is, or I've got The Revenant and Star Wars 7.
Didn't see The Revenant yet. Still really want to. That sounds like another movie that's pretty straightforward and right in the way that the way it goes.
Yeah,
Leo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio.
Are you an Oscar voter or what?
Apparently, yeah. And he's just kind of survivalist, right? In the 1800s.
It's like fur trader.
Has anyone else seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. A bit ago. And yeah, it was one of those ones where I enjoyed it. But I don't know if I'd ever watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's a slog. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not one of those movies that, comparing those last two you mentioned there, Ben, like Star Wars and The Revenant.
Yeah.
Star Wars, just big thrill ride, and then Revenant, yeah, it took a bit of work to kind of like get through, because it was one of those things where I remember someone comparing kind of not the cringe-worthy moments, but like recalling a Castaway when Tom Hanks takes out his tooth with a skate. And kind of like how you like don't want to look at that, and you're just kind of like no. And The Revenant, has certain moments of kind of just okay, that's that's what's happening. But it was something else. It was the action in it. I thought was really really cool. The way they kind of just really really close, I guess you could say. Like it's just like very few cuts, I thought, in the action, and that was really neat.
Some long, almost like shaky cam moments, especially on horseback. It very much follows with what Inarritu did in Birdman in certain circumstances, right? Following down the hallways where Keaton would walk through areas, and they would cut over here, and suddenly there's a guy playing drums in the middle of the hallway because Inarritu's got to have like a philosophical threat again. And the meteor comes back as well, and you're like, why is the meteor here? I don't know what that symbolizes to him. But I've had some pretty heated debates about The Revenant, because it is a movie that wants you to feel precisely as much pain as its protagonist is feeling. It's not a fun movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out and feel like, holy shit, I spent 3 hours suffering, right? But it's like it's fantastic, but it's not fun.
Yeah.
And so someone came up to me and said, "Well, why did you enjoy that movie? It was such a slog." And I was like, "Exactly. What were you watching? What did you expect it to be? Like, dancers aren't gonna come out. He's dying in the wilderness. Like, But I thought it was, again, precisely the right take on the subject matter. If that's what the movie you wanted to make, they made precisely that movie.
Which is just what Star Wars was too, right? As much as I thought Star Wars 7, like, my opinion of it keeps on going down and down the more I think about
Oh,
it.
really?
You know, it started at like an 8.5. Now it's at like a 7 something. So like,
Yeah.
no, because and we can talk spoilers about this, right?
Yeah.
Have we all seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
it
who
was-
hasn't seen it at this point? It's like I would say it's the biggest movie of the year.
It's the biggest movie.
2015?
It might be the
Yeah,
biggest
of all
movie
time.
ever.
Yeah.
I mean, like as far as like box office stuff, it is pretty easily right.
Yeah.
That's being
Funny enough, though,
established,
I guess because a lot of people are watching Star Wars, The Revenant this week in the box office has done better than Star Wars.
Oh, really?
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think like because everyone probably saw it
Yeah,
that
everyone's
first
already
opening
seen it.
weekend, and then you have like the people who finally got around to it, or people watching their second or third viewing of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and then people are like, oh yeah, that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, right? So it was interesting to see that it was at the top in front of Star Wars this week. But yeah, Star Wars was it was fine. It was what it needed to be, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think in those early days too, like the early theater days, just the experience that you had with like, so in the viewing I saw, this one guy was in full on Darth Vader suit and the lights and everything, and I think it was his son was what was it, Jango Fett, the blue one, the blue Boba Fett, is that what his name is?
Yeah, Jango.
Yeah.
Are they color coded? I
Yeah,
never
well,
noticed that.
it's like one's
Yeah,
green and then
yeah,
one's
one's
like
blue.
bluish. So it was so cool seeing people in their costume. There's a family of like 6. Every single one of them was not nearly as decked out as these two.
Yeah.
But just just the hot entire atmosphere was something else that you just don't experience with regular movies. And there's just a certain buzz and a certain something that it's so unique, and I don't think I'll forget it. Not so much just the movie, but just the whole experience was. Yeah, never had anything like that, and I think that, and I'm hoping that those early days for the rest. How many movies are they going to make? Because isn't there like those spin-off ones too?
there's
Yeah.
I think there's 10 or 11 right now.
Oh,
They want to do a trilogy, but then there's movies outside the trilogy. They want to do like a Rogue one
Yeah,
about
Rogue
like
Squadron.
the X-wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's coming out next year, and then we've got the young Han Solo coming out.
Right.
Probably
After,
2 years
yeah.
after that. Yeah, I think it's funny how the interpretation of that movie changed radically from the early reviews that came out immediately preceding wide release that were like glowing, and then sort of the backlash that hit the movie probably in the week after release of people thinking, wait, it was so derivative.
Yeah.
But what I don't think people understand is, like, Disney had to make this practically a reboot,
Yeah.
right? In many ways, this is a full on reboot of the series. They're trying to market this thing to kids and young adults who are not at all in tune with the original,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? These people don't understand it. Now, for fans who have seen the original trilogy and, God forbid, the prequel trilogy, yeah, there was a lot of derivative stuff in there. But I just felt like Abrams did his job. He introduced some great new characters. I thought the 3 main new characters that are introduced are fantastic.
Yeah.
Probably the most multifaceted, deepest characters that we've seen in Star Wars. And now he's handing off to a much better director who can tell a better story in Rian Johnson.
Well, yeah, and I thought that was the biggest success of it, was that leaving the theater, I was more interested in the new 3 than anyone else. Like that was one of those things I didn't think I was going to feel that way going in, but coming out, I was like, oh wow, like I actually care about these like 3 or 4. So that was something else. That was a victory in my book for them.
I like that it was the first Star Wars movie to pretty much avoid the cheese factor.
What do you mean?
Well, just the dialogue in like all of the previous 6 movies. Like, even like, there were like some of the jokes that they made were just yikes.
You know what? And they did it in smart ways. One of the most encouraging things for me right off the hop in that movie was the interaction between Poe, Oscar Isaac's character, and Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
When Poe's being held and, Kylo walks up and does the whole menacing, broody, like emo Sith style thing that he's going to do for the rest of the series. And they look at each other, and Oscar Isaac cracks, well, who talks first, me or you? And it was just like, it was a good like subversion of that whole, like the whole usage, that trope of like they stare each other down, and the villain, uses his silence as strength. And then Oscar Isaac just walks in and is like, don't be an idiot. Like, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, it was good.
It was a while since they hadn't seen each other in quite a long time. Since was that Llewellyn Davis movie or something? They had like they were both in that, and it's funny like, going back to like watching those things where they were in it together, and actually just going back and watching because I didn't know who the hell Adam Driver was, and going back and like watching him and stuff. I don't know why, but I've got a weird kick out of like just seeing weird clips of him in other movies. I don't know why, but like just once again kind of going back to I all of a sudden care about not only like the characters but even the actors, like just kind of this weird kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say I loved it. Yeah, the entire thing. Now that I think about it,
He's a strange actor, Driver.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think he's so different. I don't think you can find another guy of that emerging profile that does exactly what he does. Mm-hmm. Like I watched Girls for the first couple seasons, so I saw him in that show, kind of the the launching point, and he was so weird. That's the best way to describe him. He's just odd, and the Lena Dunham character is drawn to like how kind of like manly, but also like out of touch that character is, and that's sort of been Driver's touchstone ever since. Is that he's like at once he's got a lot of presence, but he's like very introspective and kind of like the voice is very odd.
Like his voice?
Yeah.
It's something. It is unique. Like there's something about his whole delivery.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a male version of what you'd want out of Aubrey Plaza.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's a good description.
Yeah. She's great too, but
Yeah.
I don't know any celebrity names, so I'm a bit lost at the moment.
April from Parks and Rec.
Oh, I love her.
There you go.
I only remember character names.
Thank God you weren't doing casting on Contingency, pal.
He was.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do I got? Okay, so I've got video games that were released in 2015.
It's a good year.
Yeah, it's Halo
Excellent year.
5, right? Just Cause 3, which apparently, it's a fun. It's another Just Cause game. Apparently, the story isn't great, and there's a fair amount of glitches.
Well, there was a lot of performance issues at the start, from the sounds of it, like loading, like 3-minute loading screens and stuff like that.
I believe it.
I'm waiting for a price drop on that.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably wait a year until it's like $20, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
I bought like Just Cause 2 when it was like at least 3 years old. Fallout 4, which is great. It's a fantastic game, I thought. What do you guys think?
I kind of lost interest about 15 hours or so in.
Yeah?
I got to go back and get into it, but it was one of those things that those 15 hours that I played of it flew by, so I can't talk shit about it. But it was one of those things where, like Fallout 3 got me. Fallout 3 was one of those ones where I just sat down and just ran through it all, and it was great. I skipped. Didn't really get into New Vegas. Tried numerous times.
Yeah.
I've always heard such good things about it. Like in terms of the quest structure and stuff like that. Just being like really interesting. And then with Fallout 4, I don't know, just something about it didn't click. But in terms of making the shooting better and like whole gun mods and stuff, all that, makes that world so much more interesting.
I thought. Yeah, the same thing.
But something about it, I can't put my finger on it, but there is something about it that just hasn't entirely clicked with me.
Yeah, I had the exact same experience with Fallout 4. I think I also logged about 10 to 15 hours, and I haven't touched it in probably over a month. And it's weird. I find this with Bethesda's stuff more and more, in that I had the same issue with Skyrim. I'll pick those games up. I want to like them a lot.
Yeah.
I really admire the world building, like the amount of effort and care that goes into making the whole world around you, live and breathe, is fantastic. But I think for me, I'm so geared towards the primary narrative thread. I want to play the story, the main story, and I want that to be strong and prominent. And Bethesda's not really interested in that. I mean, they provide one because they have to. But they're really more interested in you just fucking around the neighborhood and
Posting gifts to Reddit.
Yeah, absolutely. And what, people dig it. There's a massive community that loves that. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah. I think even the stuff that they added, like was that like that base building stuff and stuff?
Yeah.
Like it was okay. That's a neat little tool, but it has nothing to do with the actual story in any meaningful way. So you just end up with this kind of neat little thing. in a way, but at the same time, I'm never going to touch it because I don't have the patience to kind of learn how it all works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really force me in a meaningful way to visit it, so I just kind of...
I feel kind of like it adds to the world, though, because, like, the entire post-apocalyptic thing, like, you've got, like, characters whose their thing is just scavenging junk.
Well, yeah,
it
gives meaning to the crap that exists in the world in the previous games. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I have glue.
Yeah,
you know,
and you
what
could
am I
pick
going to
up
do
like
with this?
thousands of pounds of like just random stuff, and you, like there was one item you could use, like the junk jet, that would just like launch it at people. But apart from that, there was no real purpose for it, and I feel like they're kind of fleshing out the actual interactive part of the world. I felt like Fallout 3 had the best story. Vegas, was like quest structure and like all those different factions and stuff like that. You could put on a uniform, like you put on a raider uniform, and then the NCR start just shooting at you, like the police and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like the opposite, if you wear like an army uniform, then like raiders will shoot at you, or accept you in if But
Well, and the interesting thing with New Vegas was it wasn't Bethesda, because that was
Obsidian was
and that was like the guys that were doing the early CRPGs, the American like RPGs, like can't remember, like Baldur's Gate type, that era type stuff. And so with those, like they were so key on like that type of quest structure and having those kind of like branching quests and stuff like that and building them up. And Bethesda, I think that they've really, they're more into, okay, A to B, do the thing. Here's a little, here's something where it can branch, but at the end of the day, it's not nearly as there's not 5 endings to one simple quest that's totally ignorable. Whereas I think Obsidian has always been like, or people on that team have always had these kind of weird things of, okay, here's something you can totally ignore, but if you choose to go down this path, you're going to end up with something very unique and something very, very different depending on how you play it. So, but then again, that game struggled just didn't feel like it wasn't visually very, very new, and the same issues in terms of shooting and stuff like that existed. So, and it's crazy too, thinking like this is the same engine has been used for since what is it? Oh, not Oblivion, but I think it was Fallout 3 or something. Maybe it goes back that far. But like that tech that they've been using, they've just been using it for so long.
Wait, that's the same engine?
Yeah, heavily modified.
I thought it was
heavy
completely new
mods,
engine,
but-
because
I
like
think
that
it's
was
Game
so
Brio
different.
or something like that is the name of it. So
Yeah.
it was, So,
Wow.
It's showing its age for sure. I mean, Fallout 4 at launch was pretty creaky.
I actually can't get it to launch on my computer.
Oh, really?
Anymore. Yeah, I know something changed, and like it just like it opens up on a different screen than everything else opens up on, and it just doesn't load. I think I gotta like download an older version of it. But so yeah, you were saying like they're having like launch issues at the beginning of.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you could really feel, sometimes with games you can almost like feel the code. Like, isn't that like that? Like you can kind of like, the loading screens are hella long and like textures are popping in and out, and it's like, Jesus, I can see a lot of the private parts of this game, right?
Yeah.
When it's like on market.
Yeah.
And I understand it. I mean, for RPGs, it's tough because full new engine is a massive undertaking. BioWare just did it, right, with Frostbite and Dragon Age Inquisition, which they'll move forward for Mass Effect, and that was a sexy engine. I love that, but that's a lot to ask from a company.
Yeah.
But I think Bethesda's
Especially
getting
nowadays.
to a point.
Because there are so many of them that you can just pick up, like they're actually going and building your own thing. Especially even with these enormous companies, like they're just like, nah, well, we can work with what we got. We know what we got. Let's not go into that. Whereas like the past, it was a lot more simple.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and with production schedules are just like heinous in video games too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you've got to debut a new engine and then teach your entire team how to use it properly versus here's the engine we've been using for 5 to maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I liked it. I liked Fallout 4. I thought it was like I found it wasn't like as glitchy as everything else that like has kind of come out in the Fallout series. Like you wouldn't have guys like launching up into the sky by accident.
Yeah, like
or,
it's better than it's been with the other ones. It's just still there's that jank. There's a little jank in there, and it just yeah.
Have you guys heard about the Fine Bros?
That whole
controversy
thing
recently.
They
You
just
guys?
released a response video.
Yeah.
to that, and I'm still not exactly sure what their copywriting is.
So, for those unfamiliar, the Fine Bros are some YouTubers. You might have seen like a bunch of React videos in the last couple of years. Like, apparently, it used to be a format even kind of before they existed.
Beef
But
and
they've-
Butthead was essentially reactions
Oh,
to
really?
music videos. So I mean, nothing new.
The format's been around a long time, but they kind of made it their own, literally and legally. Anyway, so they've been going around. They basically they've been making videos. You might see like kids react to, elders react to, and like likely it's one of their channels. But so they recently released a video and it said that you could now license a React video chain. Essentially, you make the videos and stuff like that, and they provide you with branding and kind of support and like format stuff, and I think viewership, maybe like your promotion.
But then I think it was like potentially if we like it, we might help you.
Yeah.
We might promote you.
And so they were kind of like using it as they're using franchising like a fast food restaurant as an analogy for that, and saying like you can do your own thing, or that was in the most recent like backpedaling video where they're like, oh no, we're not claiming that we're trademarking like all React videos, but it's like they said, like being a Burger King or like starting fast food, like you can start your own fast food and that might be really successful, but if you really like Burger King and you want to start your own Burger King, then you can do that through us and have like our support and our logos and stuff like that. It seems pretty weird. Like it seems like, I don't know, there's been a lot of backlash about it because it's a format that's been around since long before they had it.
Yeah.
And now they're claiming that like they won't be pulling down videos, but apparently they've already started pulling down videos, and like there's some people are screenshotting like claims of like manual pull downs and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the example I saw was someone was making a reaction videos to their React videos.
Yeah.
And like
The rabbit hole is real.
Yeah, and just kind of like they were taken down manually by, I think it's Full Screen, which owns them, or they're
everything
partners
now.
with Full Screen or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was one of those things where it seems odd that a group of people that rely on using other people's content, and then putting a little dumb, look at that, isn't that funny, over top of it, and then when someone does that to their content, all of a sudden it's infringing on their format.
Yeah, React videos are pretty like borderline already,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
you're
agree.
essentially just like capitalizing off other people's good content. Like I guess in a way you are adding some of your own content, and like it could be considered kind of like almost reviews and stuff like that.
Well,
But it's just
Well, it's like playthroughs, right? It's the same thing that just plays.
yeah.
I think I heard someone make this comparison with React videos. It is a format that has continually went downhill and got worse and worse and worse. And the first viral like React video thing on the internet that they recalled, this person that was saying, was 2 girls 1 cup, and that
Oh yeah.
and like that was entertaining because you didn't even have to watch that video, but it was hilarious watching someone's grandma nearly throw up as
Watching people throw up.
yeah, no, and like and it was one of those things where that was kind of disturbing and kind of a funny thing seeing people react to that video. But really, it's got to the point now where I think there's a number of channels that have so many views, like not even just with these Fine Bros, but these other people where they have 4 or 5 videos a day. Where it's like, here's a top video of the day on the internet. I'm going to sit in my room and watch it, and just kind of laugh and eat chips and wear a bucket hat, and yet they get hundreds of thousands of views, and it's and YouTube's making some money from it. They're making some money from it, and it's the most boring, terrible crap that you can find on the internet. But for whatever reason, it does well, and I think the biggest problem is just that there's too much of it that I don't know how any of this still gets views. I think even the Fine Bros original stuff with like when they first started out, it was like, oh, this is fun, but now it's like let's react to everything. And then even when it got to the point of YouTubers react, because that was one of their things.
Yeah.
Where it was just like a bunch of people on YouTube going, yeah, I've seen this video, it was good. And it's there's nothing funny about it. These little cute kids, that's something different, and strapping an elderly person up to an Oculus Rift is funny, but when you're just showing people unfunny crap and getting unfunny crap responses back, you just kind of
The part that annoyed me about it was them. See, I don't know if they're doing this just to kind of justify themselves or if they really believe it, but the whole thing about people are going to look back at this video and look back at our videos in general, and like it's for future generation, for posterity, right? They're going to look at it and they're going to be like, wow,
historians.
Mega 64 made the most
immediately
hilarious.
Fired back, with their
They're
own
really
video.
quick, but they did the same for ALS, like ice bucket challenge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was
Breaking tables, like raising awareness. Awareness level intensifies and stuff like that.
That's funny.
But yeah, they fired back pretty quickly. Their video was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's putting your reaction video in the time capsule for when the aliens show up.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
not.
We're gonna leave that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Girls, 1 Cup might make it in there.
Yeah.
But the reaction to it,
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's how we actually defeat the alien invasion. We just disgust them so badly
Yeah,
we
we
leave the
just show
planet.
Should be pretty easy. That's why the internet was
That's what we're
invented
good
by
at.
the military.
Yeah, to ward
To
off the
aggregate
aliens.
all of the world's worst content. Yeah, man. Yeah. So anyway, apparently they're trademarking a bunch of stuff too. They've trademarked the word React. They've done it. Apparently, but on February 2nd, I was reading a Reddit comment by some lawyer. Apparently, February 2nd is when it can be contested by the public. So it'd be content creators, I guess, who make React videos can fight it in the public opinion.
Yeah, I think I saw the same thing. Is that past that first step, but the second step is that if people come forward and say hey, this affects me.
Yeah.
I think that this is a ridiculous claim. Then maybe there's a chance that it won't be taken on.
Yeah, man. Part of me is kind of angry that Fine Bros would try and do something like that, but also part of me is
But it's for the community.
It's React videos.
It's for the community.
Though. What does it matter? Oh man, people aren't gonna be making money off React videos anymore.
I just find it interesting that you can trademark the word React, but Sony just recently was turned down trying to trademark their catchphrase from the marketing campaigns for PS4, Let's Play.
Oh, really?
They were trying to capture Let's Play?
Yeah.
That's already a huge phrase on the internet, though, too. So many people would fight.
But it's the exact same premise, is it not?
Yeah.
And one
If anything,
actually, it is the exact same.
If anything,
premise,
Let's Play is a bit more specific, right? Than just the word React.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I'm sure they have it in someone was saying Apple, right? Obviously has the trademark to the word Apple as it relates to only computer and technology and stuff. It's a bit hard with verbs though, right? When you have a verb like react
Yeah.
versus a noun like Apple, which is specific to only technology. The way that trademarks work like that, but it's all broken, right? Copyrights, patents, trademarks, the entire system is a joke. I think I've talked about this in season 1 before.
Yeah, we might have talked about the Candy Crush thing. By who were they? Giant Software, King Software.
I think it was it King?
King, I think.
Zango, or I don't know.
Zynga, yeah.
Yeah, and so they
farm.
copyrighted candy, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the word candy. Even though there was
Trademark.
they trademarked it. Sorry, not copyrighted it. It's different. But yeah, they trademarked it even though there was games preceding them who used the word candy, obviously. And it's Bejeweled. If you're playing Bejeweled.
That's their format.
Let's be honest here.
Oh man.
But yeah, so
We'll see how that goes.
it's a whole mess.
Yeah.
Get it together.
That's
Trademark
okay.
office.
The aliens will save us soon when they kill us all.
I just love the momentary PSA there. By God, you're playing Bejeweled. Stop.
Don't you see what's happening?
Wake up, sheeple. Yeah. So I just, man,
That's 2015,
That's
2014.
that's 2015. That's the early 2016. What else happened? There was the first week where everyone's freaking out because 2 people died.
What?
There's 2 celebrities died, and then they're like, all
yeah,
our celebrities
Bowie
are
and
dying.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah. And I don't want to like
69 is the new 27.
hugely influential people in the entertainment business, but like at the same time, like everyone just started posting like all these other people who had died in the last year. They're like, oh man, this person died this week as well.
Who's that?
It's
Breaking, old
Oh, no.
people die.
Yeah.
Breaking,
I mean, there's-
rock stars who do a lot of
They
coke
were
die
69,
earlier.
right? Those 2 guys were 69.
Yeah,
it was
we're
just a
both
weird
69.
coincidence. It was 2 or 3 people died the same week who were like 69.
Oh, who's the really really old guy that died? But everybody kind of like used him as the meter of.
Abe Vigoda.
Yeah, Abe Vigoda. There was that website like isabevigodaalive.com or something like that, and it was
We used to use it in the Silhouette. My time there as an editor, we had the speculator page, the back page of our paper, and one of our contributors, our business guy, his pseudonym for the speculator included a headshot of Abe Vigoda. So it was a constant thing for us. Like we kept on every year we would post like, he's still alive, Santino, you're cool, man. And then when he died, it was like, oh shit, like end of an era.
yeah.
And it became a giant joke for us, but which is terrible. I mean, it's a man's life, but
Did the same thing for Scott Gomez too from the Montreal Canadiens, right? This forward, he gets traded there,
Okay.
racks up 0 goals, gets sent to the AHL. Just a website, has scottgomezscored.com. No, right? Just the words no, like in like Arial and like a massive font.
I love joke websites.
And then he finally scored. Someone put like a cheesy like background GIF animation with confetti and it says yes. Oh, and sorry, it also calculated how much he was getting paid, right?
Oh.
To not score.
That's
And
fun.
I'm like, no.
yeah, that was a rough season for Scott Gomez.
Oh, man.
Okay, my list is out. Is anything? Oh wait, no. Sorry, we got 2 more things. Shoot, Flint water crisis. That's a bit of a downer.
I don't know much about
Celebrities are donating water to America town Flint. Is it the town called Flint?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Flint, Michigan. Because they've got too much lead in their water. Is that right?
I saw a picture of a comparison.
You can never have
between
too much lead in your water.
But I don't know much
Just ask
about
the
it.
Roman
I just
Empire.
remember seeing some stuff. But, yeah.
Okay, then we'll move on because 3 words is clearly not enough to sum up that topic. I should write better notes.
Flint water crisis.
Donald Trump campaign.
That's a thing.
What do you guys think? Is he going? Is he going to listen? Is he going to stick it out the whole way? Because I thought he was going to quit like 6 months ago. I thought it was a promotional thing.
Oh, I don't think he's quitting. The only
Yeah, no.
Like, how much money do you think he's spent now on promotional stuff and like
How
his
much
like
is any?
entourage?
Is any one of those kind of candidates?
Millions,
it's like a
right?
ridiculous amount. Yeah.
I don't think money's an issue for Trump in this case, and I think the weirdest thing about it right now is that it seems like he might be on the road to splitting from the Republican Party and running as an independent.
What?
Because he's basically like he's fractured his relationship with Fox News.
Oh yeah.
He would not go to a debate being hosted by a Fox News anchor, which was a major Republican debate. It was just a very strange circumstance for a guy midway through a campaign to decide he doesn't like the party he's running for. But of course, that kind of jives with the voter base that he's trying to attract that believes they're anti-establishment as well. And, you know, I'm sure they were all cheering from well within their bomb shelter when he announced that move. So, you know, as much as the man terrifies me, and he won't win the general election, the marketing and the positioning for Trump to a wide base of people who are just shockingly paranoid, racist. I mean, add any negative word you want to that list. It's pretty remarkable, actually. I think it's been a fascinating and terrifying exercise in personal brand management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's weird, man. No, I thought he'd be out like a long time ago, but
No, the wingnuts stick around in the Republican Party for a long time now.
I don't understand politics. I don't understand how it works.
Let's talk about Trump. I don't understand politics.
I just want to bring it up. See
Sure.
if anyone had any opinions.
Sure, yeah.
Because you know he's popular.
I just like how he says China. You ever hear him say China?
No.
How does he say it?
China.
That's how he says everything, man.
Yeah, okay, good point. But yeah, no, there's just a compilation video of just him saying China, and like, and then like it was just great. It was just because it's sometimes it doesn't even sound like he's got the C in there. It's just China, and it's just I don't know. It's just a very entertaining word for Mr. Trump to say.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, I
You
mean,
gave him the respect with the Mr. there.
Mr. Trump.
Yeah,
Well, he
you
might
gotta
be listening.
Respectful even
Yeah.
with people you don't.
the right
necessarily-
honorable Donald.
Doland Trump.
Wait, I forgot to. Did I? I didn't say the lunch of the day, lunch of the week. Did I say the lunch of the week?
No.
No, I didn't. Okay, so since my list is out, I'm gonna go with a new running thing. Lunch of the week. The lunch of the week this week is stir fry. Do you guys know how to make a stir fry?
I do.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
We
Yeah.
made a vegetarian stir fry actually a while ago with ground beef.
Oh yeah,
You
that
mean
was a,
Steven.
that was a video we made.
A vegetarian
It wasn't
Stir
really
fry
a
with
stir
ground
fry.
beef in
We did a how to
you'll need to see
basic how to basic video basically, and we sent it to him, and he didn't respond.
Yeah.
So
He was probably
he was
Doing
probably
things with
busy
eggs.
throwing eggs at something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it happens.
But stir fry, you can
sounds like
make
Rick
it-
and Morty. She's off doing something with turquoise.
Oh yeah.
Damn you, Summer.
Stir fry you can make pretty fast. Just get some rice. I make mine with put some curry powder in there to add a bit of flavor. Get some rice. Fry some like chicken or meat or whatever meat you really want. Put some onions. Put some other vegetables in there. Put it in the frying pan.
I just don't want you to make a cooking show. Just get some stuff and just make it happen. And
I mean, it could be chicken. It could be any kind of meat, really. You need some vegetables.
Strain out your rice. Throw it in the frying pan as well. Kind of stir it all together. Put some.
Did you say throw your rice in the frying pan?
Yeah, do you not stir fry your rice? You're
No,
frying it in the
you
frying pan.
boil your rice.
No. After you boiled it, I already said that part.
No, because you're gonna
Okay,
just
I've done it.
dry it out.
Okay, listen. Okay, I'm telling them how. This is how you make a stir fry. Okay.
You monster.
You put after you made your rice,
Yeah.
we boiled it and you put it in the water.
Yes.
The 10-minute rice because you don't have all day. So you got your curry powder rice. You strain it and then so there's not much water in it. You put it in your frying pan with after you've sizzled all your onions and chicken, and your other vegetables you got in there.
Yeah.
You kind of stir it around. Then you pour some soy sauce in there,
Okay.
right into the pan, and then you put some of that Rooster hot sauce in there while you're doing it. And you get 2 eggs, and you put that in there as well. You just put those eggs in there. You kind of stir it around, fry it up a little bit, and then you eat it. And then that's your 30-minute Bentley stir fry lunch.
Okay.
That's the lunch of the week.
I want you to go back when you're editing this and just put like the Wii Shop Channel song underneath your description of the stir fry.
What is that?
Because I think I think that'd be like the most fitting. I can't even spell. I put Wushu song. Sorry, never mind. But yeah, look that up and put that under.
Wii
your-
Shop song. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look it up. But everyone at home, feel free to try that recipe. It's for free. It's not trademarked or copyrighted.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, it's really good.
Bentley owns a trademark on all meat and/or vegetables, also rice.
I could.
It's for the community.
Yeah, it's for the community. What? Okay, I think that's all I got for this week. To be honest, we've been running for about an hour 20. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh gosh.
it's been
Time
it's been
flies
good.
when you're
Anything
eating stir fry.
anyone wants to say before we sign off?
I think Caesar just signed off. for us.
Yeah, I think that was Caesar signing off. So
When are we coming back?
we're coming back next week. We're gonna do every week for the next foreseeable 25 weeks.
We can get
Exactly 25
Shav
weeks.
in town every week.
I
No.
don't know.
No, you can't.
Probably not. But
I'm a busy man without a job.
anyway, so we'll be running every week for this season lasts 25 weeks. So that's how long we'll be doing it. So
Unless we're NBC, in which case we'll get maybe.
yeah, I'll probably anyway. So every week from now on, be excited. Watch it. We're on latelunchpodcast.com.
Don't even know you're.
It's been
Question
so long.
mark.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
brand new and I made it.
Suddenly the
Does someone
editing
search
process
it?
is just spiking like at the end of
I'm
this
not
episode.
editing anything. That's not how this works. Late Lunch Podcast.
I'm looking up.
Dot something.
I took us off iTunes for a little bit just because
.ca.
LateLunchPodcast.ca. We got a Facebook. Check us out. Just search Late Lunch Podcast on Facebook. Search.
Do it yourself, you filthy animals.
And hopefully we'll see you next week. I mean, we'll see you next week. All right, everyone, say goodbye.
Bye. Play the intro music.
Goodbye.
Play
Bye.
the intro music. I mean, the outro music.
Play me out.
It's a rock song.
Dun 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 dun.